The reason that the move seemed strange was that builder was holding a thick and long alloy tube in each of its 4 hands, wielding tubes as swords like a human. Because builder itself was too cumbersome and had 4 arms, its actions looked very odd. Luo Xiangyang looked at it and was slightly surprised. Anyone able to drive builder like this must have reached the level of an evolver. Which teacher or coach in the school is driving builder? Luo Xiangyang could not think of any student, as an unevolved person could hardly achieve this speed. After watching for a while, Luo Xiangyang started to have a craving. He used to be a heavy warframe soldier and operate heavy warframes as combat warframes for fun. After he entered the school, he did not have heavy warframes to play with and few knew how to operate heavy warframes, so he had no one to spar with either. When he saw someone using a heavy warframe to mimic a combat warframe, his craving was evoked. Seeing Porter RS parked on the other side, Luo Xiangyang went directly into its cockpit and activated it using his coach authorization. Ha Sein was practicing driving builder because it was the closest to an ordinary combat warframe. Suddenly, Ha Sein saw a shadow coming toward him from the holographic image. With his strong reflexes, he immediately operated builder to raise one of the tubes it was grabbing to block that shadow. Clank! A loud clanking of metals rang and Ha Sein saw that it was Porter RS that had attacked him using its 30-foot-long multifunction wrench. And on Porter RS's other arm, the cutter was turned on and waved toward him. Ha Sein did not have any time to consider who was driving Porter's RS, but had to block it with another tube in builder's hand. The alloy tube was cut off by the cutter instantly and the fearsome blade spinning at a high speed was approaching builder. Shocked, Ha Sein pushed the speed of his hands to the limit, manipulating builder to step back and avoided the swing from Porter RS. Good! Luo Xiangyang exclaimed in excitement, controlling the Porter RS to launch crazy attacks against builder. The giant wrench, cutter, drill bits, hooks and other tools all became terrifying weapons with his control. Luo Xiangyang took his opponent for a veteran, because he believed no one could use builder like this otherwise. An unevolved person could never achieve this level. Ha Sein was a bit dumbfounded and did not know who was driving Porter RS. This person had better operation and speed than Ha Sein as well. Even when Ha Sein was trying with all he had, he still could not make any progress and was about to be defeated. Ha Sein did not want to accept this failure, and used what he learned from Hand of God, raising the speed of his hand to level evolved -4. Suddenly he became the incarnation of the thousand-hand Buddha, completing various complex operations at dazzling speed. Luo Xiangyang felt his opponent was a bit weaker in the beginning, and thought maybe this guy was probably just a low-level heavy warframe soldier. Also, it seemed this guy had not operated a heavy warframe in a long time and was obviously a bit rusty. But soon, Luo Xiangyang found the guy became so much better that it was like builder had become alive. Flexible and swift, it was more like a combat warframe and a heavy one. Luo Xiangyang was ecstatic. It was so rare that he encountered such an opponent. Using all he had, he was on the same level as his opponent. Then Luo Xiangyang found that this guy was also rapidly improving. When fighting with Luo, this guy's operation was more and more accurate, which again convinced Luo that this was a retired heavy warframe soldier like himself. Awesome! Luo Xiangyang had not been so happy in a long time. If he had to describe, he would have said the ordinary combat Warframes were like women, and heavy warframes were like men. The domineering feeling, the clanking of the wrench and alloy tubes, and the pressure his body was under, all brought Luo's blood to a boil, reminding him of the days when he was in the army. The two large-scale heavy warframes were constantly colliding into each other and the sounds kept echoing in the warehouse. Hussein did not know who he was fighting, but felt much pressure. Even when he was using all he got, he was still completely overwhelmed. His opponent was so much better than him in technique, and Hussein had learned a lot. Is it fatty or skinny? Indeed, they are more experienced than I am, Hussein was guessing. There were only a few people in the society and he knew his roommates. And the girls were not able to achieve this level, so fatty and skinny were all that were left. Hussein did not expect that the person he was fighting would be the coach of Warframe Society and a veteran in heavy Warframe operation. Hussein had no hard feelings, but was quite excited about a fight like this, because he could learn so much more from it than when he practiced alone. It seems that I have underestimated fatty and skinny. I need to practice more often with them, Hussein thought. Having been fighting for an hour, Hussein was unable to handle the physical stress brought by the fight and came out of the warframe. He was soaked in his own sweat. Operating a heavy warframe like Builder could stress one out easily. And it was impressive that Hussein had been operating it for such a long time. Luo Xiangyang felt a bit unsatisfied, but did not insist when seeing his opponent had stopped. He came out of the cockpit and wanted to meet this person. Since they were both veterans, they could communicate and fight again later. But he was stunned when he saw the man coming out of Builder. He always thought that this guy must be a veteran, but the person coming out of Builder was a fair-skinned young man of no more than 17 years of age. He must have not even reached the age to serve, and thus could not be a veteran.